Next up is Colleen Toledano, ceramic and mixed media artist and associate professor of design at SUNY Buffalo State. Colleen's work explores motherhood, memory, and transformation through sculptural forms that merge materials like porcelain, resin, and wood, creating tactile expressions of life and change. Please welcome Colleen Toledano.
Thanks. Thank you for having me here. My name is Colleen, and I'm addicted to making. An instinct to shape ideas into physical form, whether I'm developing conceptually driven artwork, upholstering custom furniture, or renovating my own home, creation is woven into my daily life. No matter the material or the scale, my hands are always at work. I'm primarily a mixed media ceramic artist. My work is influenced by the ornate style of historical Wedgwood Sèvres porcelain. The vessels serve as a metaphor for the body and self, symbolizing notions of home, protection, and nourishment. From a distance, the vessels seem formal and contained, yet as one moves closer, the abundance of leaves, the merging of forms, and the blending of multiple vessels reveal themselves. These gestures trace how my family shaped my growth inside and out, expanding and complicating who I've become. My studio practice often begins with a simple act of making, letting forms emerge before I fully understand what they might mean. Through multiple stages, testing clay bodies, wheel-throwing components, experimenting with firings, and refining surface qualities, I create numerous parts, exploring possibilities and then problem solve how they might fit together to bring the vision in my mind into physical form. The work is built from hundreds of leaves made of porcelain, and in this case, porcelain strawberries, delicately pressed in silicone and plaster molds, each one embracing the material's fragile and vulnerable nature. Their details are subtle, easily overlooked, perhaps meant only for me to notice. The work dwells between chaos and control, where the roles of mother, wife, and artist intertwine. This piece, Finding My Way, draws from the twisting logic of labyrinths and ordered paths of sculpted gardens. The piece maps contradictions, all the roles being unpredictable and meticulously patterned. The parts often appear orderly or composed, but always on the verge of transformation. The surfaces ripple with the illusion of nature being guided, trimmed, and reshaped, much like what happens in my own life. The evidence of time is present through the change of perspective, size, and color. The shift of color references a season's shift, and these subtle changes mirror our own cycles of adaptation and resilience, offering a shared recognition of struggle, growth, and the hidden beauty that emerges when we are poised for change. In 2018, I worked from objects to creating installations for the project Playground. The pink tree was constructed from layers of insulation board saturated in 200 pounds of pink flocking, transforming the space into a lush, surreal environment. The work reflects how everyday life can feel like a fantastical landscape, hazy and uncertain, yet serene and deliberately arranged. Taking on a project like this presented me with a challenge and demanded more time in planning than in making. From scale models, where I used my daughter for scale, to computer-generated renderings, the preparation was its own undertaking. Since I had never built anything like this before, I also needed time to research, experiment, and simply think how I could get it done. Creating installation demands a kind of studio stamina. Mind and body stretch to their limits, ideas arrive fully formed in my head, yet trial and error reveal their true shape. I often work alone, not wanting others to wait as I puzzle through each step. Perhaps it's control or simply the need to feel every challenge in my own hands. The following year, I created The Field, a space that invited curiosity and exploration, rewarding viewers by immersing them in an environment that sparks excitement and wonder. This installation encouraged investigation, transforming everyday experiences into a conceptual framework, highlighting ordinary moments that might otherwise go unnoticed. When the viewers poke their head through the hole, they would realize they are standing within a manufactured environment of glittered flowers and hidden birds, and when they look up in the mirrors, they would see themselves within a welcome mat. Looking In, created during the pandemic, had forced us to rethink what normal meant, including how we experienced art. As galleries and museums reopened with new safety guidelines, our encounters with art felt distant and changed. By recreating miniature galleries, I offered a familiar world the viewer can recognize but not fully enter. I built a 1:8 scale replica of the Birchfield Penny Center, imagined as a topiary-like architectural structure. Inside, I recreated the exhibitions at the museum when they were asked to temporarily close, including a major show of more than 200 paintings. A huge part of why I love being an artist is the simple joy of making. My mother taught me to sew and read patterns, skills that I used in my studio practice. My upholstery career began almost by accident. A designer asked my husband, Norman, if I can make a custom banquette. What started out as one project has grown to a steady work, ranging from small objects to large-scale installations, such as the banquette at the Monocle and the seating for the new Mira, placed me squarely in the role of tradesperson, bringing others' designs to life. Working alongside my husband creates its own dynamic. We share most of the same motivations, taking on projects for the challenge and the satisfaction of seeing them completed. These projects give me the quiet freedom to work alone in my studio. I often refine details driven by the instinct of a craftsperson. Unlike my personal artwork, these projects demand careful attention to the client's vision. My process doesn't always align with the timelines of Norman's installation schedules, but as a partner, he usually grants me the space to follow it, sometimes reluctantly.
All right, thank you. Beautiful range of work.